No. It's saying, hey, this is going to come shortly. This is going to be, the time is near. You need to pay attention. And so when we ask the question, when is this happening? There are different ways that you can understand. And the way the Greek language is used, okay, it can be within a few years. Certainly it can mean that. But it also can mean from God's perspective. From God's perspective. I don't have time to get into Habakkuk, but Habakkuk uses that type of language. You're not going to believe me until I show you, right? Let's see if we can. Okay, let's close that. And I am going to duplicate. That's how easy it is to get another New King James Version on your desktop. All right, Habakkuk 2:3. Found it. Look at the way this language is used. I hope I'm not stepping outside of the camera view. But for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak, and it will not lie, though it tarries. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. What? Though it tarries, it will not tarry. So, there is a merge of both the human and the divine points of view. So from our point of view, picture Martha and Mary when their brother Lazarus is sick and about to die. When Jesus hears the news, he waits 4 more days before he goes to see his friend Lazarus. By that time, he had died. Mary and Martha, they both come, and they, unknown to each other, but they say essentially the same words. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Essentially saying, you're late, right? We know Jesus wasn't late. It was all in his purpose. So that's what's happening here. So from the human point of view, at the end it will speak, it will not lie. I mean, the vision is for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it. Like from our point of view, how long have we been waiting for the second coming of Jesus or the catching away of the church? I mean, it tarries, right? But now, this is God's promise, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. That's God's point of view, right? From God's point of view, I'm not late, I'm right on time. Though from your perspective, you've been waiting long. Guess what? It will surely come to pass. And so from God's perspective, it's not tarrying. There's an appointed time. And so that's kind of what's happening with the book of Revelation, right? When he says, these things must shortly come to pass, we're thinking, yeah, how soon, right? I don't know if you've been watching The Chosen. If you have not, you need to, all right? It's a series on the life of Jesus. It has its own app. Just go thechosen.com, probably you can find it. But in the series, Jesus says, soon. And that is, they use a peculiar word for that. That is a very imprecise word, soon. Because it always depends on who is saying soon, right? I promised my children, they want to visit South America. I say, yeah, we will soon. And they think it's next week. And I'm like, no, it's probably in the next 3 or 4 years, but it's soon, all right? So you see, depends on who is saying soon. So it could be that it's from God's perspective. But also, it could mean quickly or suddenly. The Greek words really point to that, because I had another idea on that. But quickly or suddenly, that means when it happens, it will happen like that. That's what we talk about, the catching away of the church, right? In the twinkling of an eye, we say, at least that's what our scripture says. You know what the Greek says? In an atom. The last trumpet will sound and we will be caught up. The church will be caught up to meet Jesus. See, in the twinkling of an eye, that's not as fast as an atom, because an atom is it's so tiny, right? So that's how quick, how sudden it's going to be in an atom. And it could happen at any time. This means it builds expectation. The church is living with the promise that we're going to be caught up to meet the Lord in the air. And we're like, when is that going to happen? Lord, tell us the date. We want to know exactly the date, because that way we can be prepared. You know, we're finally going to be faithful to church and the Lord and everything else. But he wants us to be always prepared, always expecting it. And that's why he says, be ready. If you pay attention to the parables, in some parables, it says that the bridegroom tarries. And at midnight, hey, behold, the bridegroom cometh, right? But there's other parables where it says, at an hour where you don't expect him, he will arrive. And if he finds his servants getting drunk and partying, then he will punish them, right? So in one parable, he comes too soon, because they were like, oh, come on, let me just live a little bit in this life. Let me party a little bit, and then I'm really, really going to be faithful to you. And he just comes too soon. But for others that are waiting for him, he seems to take his time, right? So those perspectives are there in the parables of Jesus. So that's how we understand when. When it happens, it's going to be quickly, and it's going to come suddenly, but it could be at any